The Skyline was first released and made by the Prince Motor Company from 1958 to 1968, until the name was bought by Nissan in 1968. The most popular models are the R32, the R33, and the R34 GTR. The C10 was released in 1969, being the first GTR. The only engine to come with the C10 GTR was a 2-liter dual overhead cam S20 inline 6, producing 160 horsepower. The S20 was similar to the GR8 engine used in the Prince R380 race car. The only transmission was a 5-speed manual transmission. At first, the GTR was a sedan until the coupe was introduced in March of 1971. The GTRs were stripped of unnecessary equipment to be as light as possible for racing and performed well at the track. The C10 raced against many cars like the Toyota Corona 1600 GT and the Isuzu Bullet GTR. In 1971, the rotary-powered Mazda RX-3 ended the GTR's winning streak. The C110 was introduced in 1972, being exported as the Datsun K-Series. The GTR was released in September of 1972, but only lasted until March 1973 due to the oil crisis. The C110 GTR had the same S20 engine and 5-speed transmission as the C10 GTR. Only 197 GTRs were ever sold through Nissan performance shops, later called Nismo. The C110 GTR was the last GTR made for 16 years. The R32 was released in 1989, available as either a coupe or a sedan. The base model GXI was the only model with an inline-4 CA18i. The GTR was released in 1989, being the first GTR with all-wheel drive. The engine was a 2.6-liter twin-turbocharged RB26 DETT inline 6, producing 276 horsepower. But as it was electronically limited due to the gentleman's agreement, it actually produced 310 horsepower. The Porsche 959 was Nissan's target when designing the GTR. The chief engineer intended to use the car for Group A racing, so the design was drawn with a copy of the Group A rules by their side. Significant changes Nissan made to the GTR were more supportive seats, the turbo boost gauge and digital clock being removed, flared front and rear wheel arches, larger intercooler and brakes, the clock being replaced by a torque meter, oil temperature and voltage, and boost gauges above the climate control. The GTR was a success in the Japanese Touring Car Championship, taking the series title every year from 1989 to 1993. In Australia, the GTR ended the Ford Sierra Cosworth's winning streak in the Bathurst 1000 Classic in 1991 and 1992. Due to its success, the Australian motoring press nicknamed the car Godzilla, as it was the monster from Japan. After the homologation rulebook allowed 17-inch rims, the GTR got 17-inch BBS rims with Brembo calipers. The first GTR was the Nismo Skyline GTR, with 560 sold of the 43,934 GTRs. In August of 2014, the GTR became legal to import into the United States. The R33 was released in August of 1993, again with the coupe and sedan bodies. The R33 was the first Skyline model to feature airbags and the safest model so far. The GTR was released in 1995 with another 2.6-liter twin-turbocharged RB26 inline 6 with a 5-speed manual transmission. In 1996, a limited edition model was released called the Nismo 400R that produced 400 horsepower from a road-tuned Nissan Le Mans engine with a 6-speed get-rag transmission. Like the R32, the R33 saw victory in the Japanese Touring Car Championship until the McLaren F1 GTR beat the GTR. The R34 was released in May of 1998 and was the last Skyline to hold the GTR name and the last Skyline to have an RB Series engine. The GTR was released in 1999 with a revised chassis. The most popular feature of the R34 GTR was its display unit at the top of the dashboard. It showed many of the car's engine stats like boost pressure, oil temperature, and more. A computer jack was hidden underneath the passenger side skirt that could be used for transferring driving data from the car to a laptop. It could only be done with the Japanese version of Windows and Japanese software that is very hard to come by today. Once again, the GTR was sold with a 2.6-liter twin-turbocharged RB26 DETT inline 6 and a new 6-speed manual transmission. To advertise the GTR, customers received an official GTR photo album. On August 29th of 2002, Nissan ceased production of the R34 Skyline. The Skyline is still sold today as the Nissan Skyline in Japan and the Infiniti G35 or G37 in America, having a V6 instead of an inline-6 engine. The G35 Coupe was entered in Formula Drift, replacing the VQ35DE V6 with an SR20DE inline-4.